Good morning, Brother Bear. I wanted to show you the carnage that is my sunflower. Check this out. Look at what these birds did to it. Reduced it to nubs. I can still keep some of those seeds. You see them? You take the yellow off and then you pop the seeds underneath off. And then you can save them. But they went to town on this baby. They're all like that. Crazy, huh? So I have to let it dry just a little bit longer before I start taking the seeds down. And then I'll use them to replant. I will not eat them. This is my not apricot, nectarine that's coming back. I'm afraid to cut off his dead branch. And then check out my crazy ass tomatoes. They got wild. I don't even know if I can get them all in the frame. You see them? They're like super tall. There's 3 of them in there. They weren't even this big during the summer. I learned my lesson last year. I ripped them out in August, at the end of August, around Labor Day. And see, look at, for reference, hang on. Can you see me? Look at how tall they are. I hope you can see that. Anyway, he's freaking ginormous. And he's got some blooms on him. I gotta get in there and trim him back. But he's growing pretty wild. And then these 2 didn't do anything all summer long. And then they started shooting up as soon as the weather cooled. So I'm going to let them go too. I already picked a couple of tomatoes off him. These are the San Marzanos. They use them for tomato sauce. So we shall check. And then we got a giant carpenter bee doing his thing. The bees were up hella early this morning when I was watering at 7. They're still flying around here. Anyway, we got some seeds started. And to be honest, I kind of forgot what I'm growing. So I know I planted here spinach. I think this is spinach. This here is red cabbage, and I think you can see that guy. But there's a few more that popped up. So this one here and this one there. And then they're so dark you can't tell. Ah, good morning, sunshine. That's a new one. I don't remember what I planted there. Ugh, I suck. I threw some seeds in this thing. Nothing happened. And then I'm starting to see some kind of growth. So we'll see. And these little tomatoes have some tomatoes. Hi, Teddy. Anyway, they've got some blooms, so I'm just going to let them go. We're going to see what they do. And then these are my Arctic tomatoes. They are conditioned and grown to, they're cool weather tomatoes. So they do need heat, but not, they can actually produce and ripen in lower temperatures than traditional tomatoes. So that's why he's looking fabulous compared to all the other ones. He's got a ton of fruit on him because this is his time to shine. I also planted him in the spring and he didn't really do too much. I think it got too hot for him too fast. And this is his brother right here who's lagging. Anyway, I can't remember what these 2 guys are. I'm just going to let them go. So that's where we're out. I'm decorating the front porch for fall, and I did some pots. Oh, before I forget, I read if you throw some beans, the beans have some kind, they're like a nitrogen fixer, and this is my orange tree. And my orange tree wasn't doing shit. Didn't give me any blooms. It looks sad. So I planted a green bean because green bean is a nitrogen fixer. So I planted some green beans in here, and these are my green beans, and you can see them growing right here. Got a ton of green beans. Super happy about that. And then we don't like to talk about the citrus because they what do you call it? They thin themselves out. So I don't want this guy to commit suicide. But you see that action right there, right? We're not going to talk about it, but you see it. That hadn't happened. I had this tree for a year. Didn't happen. Nothing happened. He was just green. And then, bam, plant a green bean in it. So, anywho, I got a ton of stuff to do. It never ends here. And I'm going to decorate the front porch. I have some pretty stellar ideas about Halloween. Usually I don't decorate, but I'm kind of feeling it this year. We're also not going to talk about that. Okay, we're just not going to talk about it. I'm going to let you look at it. It's everywhere. But we won't mention it because they're really sensitive. And I get it because I don't like people talking about my accomplishments as I'm accomplishing them. You know, because I get embarrassed. And I don't want to embarrass him. So we're just going to sit back, observe, and then we'll talk about it like we do about other things behind its back. So once I figure out what I'm doing in the front, for sure, I have ideas. But once I figure it out, I'll go ahead and shoot you a before video really quick and then an after. So anyway, chat soon.